Have you ever watched an anime or really any type of animation and was just blown away by how beautiful it was? The little details like what color the sunlight is to set a tone for a scene in the director of anime like K-On! And silent voice Naoko Yamada's work, or the uniqueness and fluidity of director Atsushi Wakabayashi's Naruto vs. Pain fight. I don't think animation is inherently bad. We can point to things and say, this is bad, but most of the time it's a stylistic choice by animators and their directors. That doesn't excuse them from criticism because sometimes it can just look bad and there can be mistakes. Also, if you don't like a style, you're probably not going to enjoy whatever you're watching. That's partially the reason why I didn't watch JoJo. From the screenshots I would see when Diamond is Unbreakable was being animated, I just thought it was ugly. Obviously now I don't feel anything close to how I felt previously, but it stands that sometimes there can be an obstacle because of how it looks. Back to the point, animation is an art of choice. Just like how every painter must make a series of strokes to paint a picture, every stroke adds something to the painting, all the strokes coming together in the end to form what the artist wanted to portray. Animation is much the same way, yet I feel like it never truly gets the credit it deserves. When you have a team of people working on an animation, no doubt the passion behind those people will bleed through in different ways into the final product. It's the culmination of that passion that gives us some of the most breathtaking pieces of art we'll ever experience. In Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, we finally experience and understand this passion firsthand. Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken is a manga written by Sumito Owara and recently received an anime adaptation, so why don't we take a look at it? This looks familiar. I can't quite put my finger on it, but man, I feel like I've seen this somewhere before. Wait, who directed this? No, it can't be. You're telling me that the person who made this? Made this? Seriously? The guy who made Devil May Make You Cry made Cute Girls Do Cute Animation? If you didn't already know, the person behind the massive success that was Devilman Crybaby was also the director for this series, and he has a very unique style of animation that immediately sticks out and resonates with you. It's just a shame we didn't get to see the Devilman run in Eizouken. Anyways, the story follows a trio of Japanese high school girls as they, well, make animation. That's pretty much it. You have Asukasa and Mizusaki animate and come up with storyboards while Konomori keeps them focused on the project they're working on. A pretty simple concept on the surface, but it's much more than cute girls making cute animation. One of the ideas the show focuses on is what does it really mean to create something like animation? Everything that gets created usually has some form of passion behind it. Even things that seem soulless did have some form of passion behind it. Maybe it was the way the actor portrayed a character, and that character stuck out because of the passion put behind it by the actor during their performance. In animation, this passion can seem a little more difficult to portray as you yourself are not present on screen. So how can you show the audience that this was something you put a lot into without having to say, I put a lot into this? Besides, some people won't even notice and probably don't care as long as it's entertaining. You don't see a majority of people talking about the true depth behind the Minion movie. Most people either liked it because funny yellow guy say relatable thing, or disliked it because it just seemed like another soulless cash grab. In Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, we see this passion take form in two different ways. Asukasa focuses heavily on details surrounding the world she creates, making it reflect our own by how realistic she makes everything, even going as far to make more work for herself just so she can feel satisfied with the world she created.
目に見えない高エネルギー照射を行ったということがわかるあらゆる演出をぶち込む。そして音だ、ドメキシ。
She demonstrates her passion for animation through her performance, depicting a vast unknown world through what she chooses to draw and how she does so. A world that you would be unable to imagine or live in through just a single still frame alone. Mizusaki, on the other hand, focuses heavily on details surrounding the movement of her art. The same way Asukasa feels about making her world as real as possible, Mizusaki wants to replicate the way things move in a medium where nothing can move. She shows the beauty of animation by making things move, or in her words, even though it's not her dancing or eating on screen, it's what she can make move that displays her passion.
私はチェーンソーの刃が跳ねる様子を見たいし、そのこだわりで生き延びる。大半の人が細部を見なくても、私は私を救わなきゃいけない。
Even though these two concepts, creating lively worlds and making characters move, are different, what makes them the same is that they're only possible by the little details. Have you ever watched something and you notice a small detail and you just kind of think, that was a nice touch. Even if it has no significance to the overall story or plot currently going on, it just felt like a little something they added. Now, have you ever wondered how many of those small little details you might have missed? It's these seemingly insignificant details that make animation as beautiful as it is. Most of these things will go unnoticed and underappreciated, but that doesn't detour animators from creating things that even if nobody notices, they still feel satisfied with. Because what if someone does notice? They'll probably go, hey, I appreciate your attention to detail.
てか圧に感動するわけよ。分かってんじゃん、あんたってさ。どこの誰だか知らないけど、あんたのこだわりは私に通じたぞって。
I feel like it's these seemingly insignificant differences that separate what makes a good animation and what makes it feel soulless. In the beginning, I said that animation isn't inherently bad, and I still stand by that, but that doesn't stop it from feeling bad. When you watch a movie from a big Hollywood studio like Illumination, people can walk away feeling as if it's missing something. It's also that something that's pretty hard to describe. Like, I enjoyed this movie, but it just feels like it's missing something. That something is often the passion put behind it. Don't get me wrong, having details and Easter eggs doesn't automatically make animation deep or passionate. I'm talking expression. How Naoko Yamada focuses on legs to express how a character is feeling. How Atsushi Wakabayashi uses a flow of fast-paced animation with hard impacts to express how grand of a scale the battle is. These things are expressed in such ways that everything you see and experience is intentional. It's that passion to make the audience feel a certain way through their work that doesn't just stop these artists from simply drawing the story and moving on to the next project. There's something else I haven't mentioned. Konamori acts as the producer of the group, as a straight man who doesn't really have an interest in animation, but views it more as an opportunity to make money. She keeps Asukasa and Mizusaki in line by keeping them focused on what needs to be done, but still allows them the creative freedom as long as it doesn't hinder the project. When you have two people so passionate about making things come to life with the sheer amount of thought, detail, and ideas they put in, at some point you reach a wall of what you can and can't do.
ちょっと待って、完成してる動画ってこれだけ？
そうです。水崎氏、先週書いてたカット番号は
4です。
今週書いてるカット番号は
4。
1ヶ月弱かけて4カットしかできてないと。ペース遅すぎます。全体のペースを考えてください。
Being so focused on making everything realistic caused an entire month of time to go by with only 4 cuts done. That's where there's a premise of compromise. The show doesn't just say, be passionate and succeed, as there are a lot more things that need to be done. Like, you need good advertising to draw people in so you can keep them interested. It's good to make something as perfect as you can, but when that perfection hinders the production, then you need to be willing to compromise to still be able to make it as good as you can, while still meeting the requirements such as a due date. Because of this, some things put in there by animators will go unnoticed, since there wasn't enough time to really focus on them as much as the animator probably wanted to. I mean, I don't mean to stroke my own ego, but it's videos like this and the many others on YouTube that show you what you might have missed, to show why these pieces of art are as beautiful as they are. They celebrate the artist for the work and passion they put in a way showing that appreciation for the small things that they might have added. It's the audience giving them the acknowledgement of hey, I saw what you did there, and I really appreciate you taking the time to put that in. The way to know if a piece of animation had passion behind it is if you are sucked into the world. If you finish and it left you with a feeling of astonishment, like you were just there witnessing these high school girls move to the next chapter of their life, or feeling the punch that knocked the bad guy flying back, the world created by those who can bring it to life has a purpose. That purpose being to resonate with its audience. The amount of effort and passion put into bringing a world to life, even if not understood by the person watching it, can still be felt by them. That feeling that you've entered a whole new world brought to life by people who truly love what they do is the beauty of animation. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, then please leave a like and maybe even subscribe if you want to see more of this type of stuff. Personally, I really love this anime, and I'm really excited for the manga to be released because I would love to get my hands on it. Haha, get it? But no, it's really good and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Honestly, episode 8 is probably one of the best episodes of anime I've ever watched. I'm also hoping to get a Western release of the live action version of the show, since it looks absolutely amazing. Oh, and I follow the mangaka on Twitter. You should follow me, by the way, at Antoine Cheeto, just to pick up on bits of wisdom he leaves around. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, watch the show, read the manga, and I'll see you in the next one.